For centuries, historians and theologians have drawn a hard line in the sand. On one side, you have the structured doctrines of the Abrahamic religions. On the other, the sprawling, chaotic mythologies of ancient Greece. The assumption is that these two worlds are completely incompatible. But esoteric traditions suggest a different mechanic for how divine messages are delivered throughout history. It's called the language of the time. The idea is that God communicates by hijacking whatever a specific culture is already obsessed with. When a society speaks the language of magic, the message arrives through Moses matching the Egyptian sorcerers. When the era prioritizes medicine, Jesus appears as the ultimate healer. In ancient Greece, that cultural language was mythology. This reframes philosophers like Socrates and Plato as potential divine messengers who utilized myths to deliver a core theological message to a people who spoke in parables. The ultimate piece of evidence for this theory is found in the climax of Plato's Republic, the myth of It's the account of a brave Greek soldier killed in battle. After 10 days, while lying on a funeral pyre, suddenly sits up and begins recounting exactly what he saw in the afterlife. Account provides a precise mapping of the mechanics of life and death. Comparing this Greek myth to esoteric Abrahamic texts exposes a single shared reality hidden within cultural storytelling, forcing a total reevaluation of ancient history. Journey begins the moment his soul leaves his body. He arrives at a vast cosmic meadow. At the center of this gathering place are 4 immense portals, 2 opening upward into the heavens and 2 descending deep into the earth. Here, cosmic judges sort the newly arrived souls. The righteous are directed up through the right-hand sky portal, while the wicked are burdened with the weight of their sins and sent down into the earth for a grueling 1,000-year sentence. This specific judgment mechanic mirrors esoteric Abrahamic teachings, which describe hell as a temporary state of purification. In this view, the underworld is not an eternal destination, but a finite term of retribution, where the soul pays for its earthly debts before returning to the cycle. In account, every earthly crime incurs a 10-fold retribution. He explicitly notes that when hopelessly corrupt souls, specifically tyrannical rulers, try to escape the underworld early, the earthly portal roars. Fierce, fiery sentinels then appear to drag the dictators back into the depths. This vision of the afterlife functions as a rigorous system of justice. It aligns perfectly with ancient religious doctrines, presenting a purgatory designed for the mechanical rectification of the spirit. After 7 days in the meadow, the souls travel to the center of the universe. Sees a great belt of light stretching across the horizon, binding the sky together like a pillar. To us on Earth, this is the Milky Way, but Plato calls it the spindle of necessity. This diagram illustrates how the glowing central spindle acts as a cosmic engine. As it turns, it drives the rotation of 8 nested spheres. These represent the ancient understanding of planetary orbits. At the base of this spindle, the souls must choose their next incarnation. They are presented with a scattering of discs, tablets that act as complete blueprints for every possible life on Earth, detailing every hardship and luxury the next body will experience. These blueprints represent the intersection of choice and destiny. Esoteric scholars, including Imam Ahmed Hassan, explain that 89% of an incarnation, the environment, health, and social status, is necessary or ordained by the spindle once the choice is made. The remaining 11% belongs to the soul. In the myth, this margin is defined as virtue. While fate constructs the game board, the player's inner character is the only variable they truly control throughout their life. Fate is the environmental constraint of the test. It defines the difficulty of the life chosen, but the soul's progression is determined by how it exercises that small margin of free will within the predetermined game. The danger of this choice is shown through a soul descending from heaven who hastily grabs the blueprint of an absolute monarch. Blinded by the lust for power, he misses the horrific karmic consequences written into that specific timeline, including a future where he is fed the flesh of his own children. In contrast, the souls crawling out from the underworld choose with extreme caution. Traumatized by the memories of their punishments, they often bypass human power entirely. Orpheus chooses to be reborn as a swan, while elevation-seeking animals select simple human lives to avoid their past traumas. This failure of the heavenly soul demonstrates that obeying external laws is not the same as internal transformation. This soul entered paradise by abiding by the rules, but lacked the deep-seated discipline required to resist the allure of power once given a choice. The reincarnation cycle serves as a long-term forge. It forces the soul through round after round of testing to acquire genuine discipline, proving that passive rule-following is never enough to achieve true spiritual evolution. Once the souls have locked in their blueprints, they march on to the plane of forgetfulness. Under stifling heat, they reach the banks of a volatile, supernatural river and are commanded to drink its waters. This parallels the Islamic river Salsabil. In both accounts, the water wipes away the soul's memories. This erasure is a mercy. It allows the soul to endure a new earthly existence without being paralyzed by the longing for paradise or the terror of past lives. Even at the river, the souls face a final test. Undisciplined souls drink more than their allotted portion and forget everything. But those who exercise restraint retain a vague guiding intuition, an inner light of memory that serves as wisdom in their next life. At midnight, a thunderclap and an earthquake launch the souls upward, rocketing them like shooting stars down toward birth. In that moment, opens his eyes, finding himself alive on his funeral pyre. The myth of is a highly advanced theological blueprint. It proves that the knowledge to distinguish between a righteous and destructive life is the only wisdom worth seeking, no matter which era or prophet delivers the message.